Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
And welcome to today's show of Dear Texas. We are doing a special show for both Dear Texas and Indie Radio. And this is about Dart Frog Books, a company that is designed to help authors, indie authors specifically, to get into indie bookstores. Welcome, Marina.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here.
We're excited to hear about your program. So let's start with the basic question. Dart Frog Books, how did that name come about?
Well, the Dart Frog lives in the Amazon very, very amicably with just about every other form of life there. And as you know, we are all forced in this publishing environment to learn how to work together to continue to bring good content to our readers. So we don't see, we try to, instead of consider Amazon as something that's causing an issue for us, it's something that we'd like to learn to just work with and to create opportunities, and we know that there is plenty that can happen to bring good content to readers without having to worry that Amazon is going to derail everything for all of us. We can all work together.
So let's tackle Amazon right off the bat. Let's get that out of the way. It is the big gorilla in the room, as they say, and for authors to be listed on there, they feel that's the key thing to succeed in their world of publishing. But unfortunately, they get buried in the millions of books and millions of authors that are out there. So you, or your organization specifically, helps spotlight good quality work by indie authors. So how do you go about determining if they're good quality work?
Well, that's great. Well, Dart Frog works with professional industry people who know exactly what they're doing. They know what makes a good book. We hire them to evaluate a book cover to cover. The books are read. We can give to an author a report that very clearly tells them all that is wonderful about their book, and when there are issues, we can very clearly state these are the things that need to get fixed for this book to be ready for bookstore distribution.
Okay, so this is really good for somebody who's getting ready to publish or officially release their book. They may have a print copy or a manuscript copy that they can get to you right off the bat for that service and then make adjustments before it's officially released to the public. Is that right?
Sure. I mean, we are dealing with authors at this point in different stages. So that can be one scenario, absolutely. And I think it would actually be a very smart idea to do that before you print a whole bunch of copies and then go trying to find someone to distribute. Another way that we're helping authors today is we are evaluating manuscripts if they are polished. We do not charge for looking at manuscripts, by the way. We will look at them for free. If the manuscripts are looking really great, and that means that they have been professionally edited, then we can offer to an author a full production, publishing, distribution, and placement program. And we would get that book ready for bookstores, and we would distribute it not only to 20 bookstores, but to all of the stores in our network. So that is another offer that we have for authors. And then we deal with authors who perhaps have printed any number of copies, have been trying to sell their book for a while, and they are not really sure whether or not the book is ready. Maybe the stores are saying no to them, or maybe they don't want to walk into a store and find out if the store owner will say yes. In that scenario, it's really great for the author to give us the book, let us look at it, and give them the confirmation that they need and or the direction that they need to make the book ready or to improve the book.
Okay, so there's two questions here. First off, you said your network. How many indie stores are in the network?
Over 100 at this point. A year ago, we started with, I'm sorry? They're across the U.S.
Okay, so there's no, I mean, for example, I understand there's none in Texas, but you do have them in the Southeast, the Northeast, Midwest. Where else?
As you and I are having this conversation, we continue to have stores join our network. Every week, we're getting new stores saying yes to us. So it's a process. As you know, our great, wonderful state, the United States, I mean, we have a lot of land to cover, and we've been getting the word out for a year. So things are accelerating now, and we are getting a faster response, and we're definitely getting increased interest. But I can't tell you that we're everywhere, of course not, but we are making some terrific headway.
Okay. Going back to the review process, you've indicated that you hire professionals from the industry that review the books in different aspects, and the author then gets a report back from that. Does that include an actual review of the book, or is that just comments?
No, it is not meant to be a review of the book. It is simply meant to be directed for the author to know either the book is exceptional and we'd love to have it, or, we'd like to have it, but these things would need to be fixed first. And just to be clear, the books that do really well with us are books that have had professional editing, have had a professional cover design. In essence, they have had everything that a traditional publisher would do, right? So if an author has invested in their book in that way, then they are very, very likely to be accepted by us. It's just proven to work, right?
Now, I understand there are certain fees attached to this. They range from as low as $85 to as high as almost $500. Help us understand what those fees are for and the process.
Sure. So the process is fairly simple. You would go on our website, tell us something about your book. You would then get an email that lets you know how to submit the book. If you were to choose the $85 option, it just means that perhaps you think there is a very good chance you may not make it and would not want to invest $475 right away. I mean, that's okay. That can happen. If you choose that option, however, we evaluate the book, but we will not evaluate it at the same level as we would someone who pays the full amount. And the reason is because those evaluators cost money, right? And obviously it would take an even greater amount of time to do the complete full evaluation that book would require. But if someone wanted to get a sense and they really were not sure, hey, I'm not sure how this book is going to, let me just start here. It's a good safe bet, right? So what you would get back in that situation is you would know, okay, these are the general issues that are wrong with your book. Whereas if you pay the $475, you submit your book, you get back the report, you know every single thing about your book that you need to know. And if there are issues, you can fix the book and resubmit it an additional time at no additional cost. Now, once that book is accepted by us, it becomes part of our online central hub of the best in self-publishing. That's what our website is. It's not just another website. It also gets guaranteed bookstore distribution in 20 stores. That's for sure. So we are giving you that. We also help our authors market. We do not charge for a lot of our marketing. One of the things that we give, for example, and some authors are not familiar with it yet, but there is a company called Book to Look, that is book number 2 look. And what they've done is that they've developed a really beautiful marketing piece of software called a biblet, and an author can use that to improve their marketing platform. And as you may know, a lot of indie authors don't have a very strong platform. So this is one simple tool that Dart Frog will invest in. It's not free. It has a $200 retail value. But we invest in it, and we give it to all of the authors that come to us, whether or not we accept their book. We give it to them because we want to support authors and we want to help them market themselves as best they can. So if you'd like to know more about Book to Look, you should go on their website. But basically, you see that it's a really nice tool for authors if they don't have a very good platform to at least have something that looks really good and gives them some sense for what to do to market themselves. So that's kind of what we do. We do have direct mail campaigns. We have digital marketing campaigns. that go to our booksellers constantly. They know about our books. They know what we've recently acquired. So we're trying to give the authors as much help as we can. And if they do want additional paid options, they can. For example, if an author wanted to be distributed and placed in more than 20 stores, they can pay for that. They can pay to be placed in an additional number of stores. Or if they wanted to have a special banner at one of our conferences, they can pay for that. So we do try to offer an all-inclusive, comprehensive marketing package for them.
And currently, how many books do you have listed in your system?
That's a good question. And you know what? I don't want to give you an answer because I did not do my homework on that. I apologize. I can tell you that our program, which is getting books into stores, requires that the stores carry up to 15 of our titles in a dedicated space every 90 days. So we have more than enough titles to continue our program.
Okay. Yeah, because you've already been out there and you do have displays out there. So we know there's at least 15 books, and I know you're getting ready for the July quarter, which is another 15 books. So at least 30 we know of. When you have those 20 stores display the books, how is it displayed?
That is an excellent question. The reason why is because we have requested that those books be displayed in the same manner that a large retailer would display a bestseller. That means that when you walk into that store and you look at our dedicated space, you will see 15 self-published titles forward-facing. You'll see their covers right in front of you. And we want to do that because one of the reasons those books are Dart Frog books is because their covers are exceptional. They're beautiful books. So that helps to ensure that those books will sell. And I get the reports. I'm dealing with the booksellers directly. So I can't tell you how exhilarating it is to call them or to email them and to know that a copy has sold. And we're not surprised that it has sold, but it's just to know that this platform, this program is really working. Self-published books are not only in shelves, but they're beautifully displayed and they're actually selling.
Okay. We're going to step away for a moment for our sponsors, then we'll come back and ask more questions so that authors have a better sense of what's going on. We'll be right back.
Love to read? Love to meet authors in person? Then check out bookfestival.network to find a book festival in your region of Texas. We are adding book festival events throughout the year, so sign up to get notices and even a coupon towards purchase of a Texas author's book. Sign up at bookfestival.network. Hello, Texas authors. My friends. My name is Randy James, coming to you from my voiceover producer in the Dallas, I spend time writing and producing commercials for my radio endorsement clients, as well as my private freelance clients. Right now. I'd like the opportunity to help sell more books with a commercial like this and get listeners of Dear Texas Radio excited about your title, all at a special introductory price, available to members of the Texas Association of Authors. Call or text 214-762-1942. That's 214-762-1942.
Award-winning children's author Maria Ashworth has written books that deal with today's issues for children like bullying, friendship, blended families, love, and acceptance. Her recent release, Sushi Kitty, and other works can be found at mariaashworth.com or books.tsauthors.com. Connect with her on Facebook and Twitter for speaking events and presentations. Gatekeeper Press is a full-service publishing services at affordable prices. To learn more or to read some of the testimonials, go to indiebeacon.com.
Texas Authors is proud to be a supporter of IndieBeacon.com, a website that supports indie authors from around the world. If you are looking for help with marketing or getting published, IndieBeacon.com can assist you. Years of experience by the founder is available to any indie author looking for help. IndieBeacon.com, a place for creative souls to find help in marketing their creations.
Attention all ebook authors. Are you looking for the perfect place to sell your ebooks? Look no further than ebg247.com. Get your ebooks listed on our front page with a real-time royalty tracking dashboard and receive 80% of all your sales. That's ebg247.com. Why go anyplace else? No matter what your book genre or its cost, we make it the perfect place to sell your stories. That's ebg247.com. It's the web's best place to sell all your ebooks.
And welcome back to this special show. We are talking with Dart Frog Books, who is a specialty system that helps get indie authors into indie bookstores. And when we left off, we were talking about having their display. And I wanted to know more. Do you also issue out special logos and or stickers that authors can then use on their books to help advertise that they are selected?
Yes, our books do have their own seal, and so there is a distinction in that we also distribute books for small publishers, and those are publishers that are publishing less than 20 titles or up to 20 titles a year, as well as hybrid publishers. So when we help those publishers distribute through our program, they get a different seal. Their seal is called the Dart Frog Indie Award. And then the rest of our books are given the red seal, which just signifies that they are a Dart Frog approved book. But in the store, the authors don't need those labels. We have them on our books. But in the store itself, there is a sign above the dedicated space that says Dart Frog approved. And that gives the bookstore owner an opportunity to answer the question for their patrons and for indie authors who might stop by because they're getting so much interest from indie authors. So those are the ways that people will know about our brand. They will see it, as you mentioned, on a label on our book, or they will see it in the store in the dedicated shelf space.
When you were talking about marketing services, I was wondering, when an author is selected as one of your approved books, do you help them arrange to get book signings within the stores that you have displays?
That is something that we are currently working on. It is called our Dart Frog In-Store Events Program, and Gordon and I are working together to develop it. We have not rolled it out yet, but it is our intention to do that. And so far, we have spoken to some of our authors, and they are very excited about doing that. So I can tell you about it in a few months. I can't tell you about it today, only to let you know that we are working on that.
Okay. For the indie author, actually, I want to go back to your small publishing. What is your classification for a small publisher who may be interested in participating? What are the restrictions, the rules that are set in place?
Well, the rules are just less rules than, what happens with small publishers is that they also struggle with getting their books into stores. And, they are vetting these books on some level. So when they come to us, for one thing, we don't charge them the same that we would an indie author. We charge them $3.99 instead of $4.75. We know they've already done some work. And other than that, the price is different, and obviously the Indie Award designation that we give them. We're just trying to help them get what they need, right? They need the distribution and the placements as much as an independent author does. And a hybrid author, as you may or may not know, is someone who, like myself, has a press where an author will come and they will pay for their production costs. That is an investment that the author is making. But the book is published under a press name, and the production of that book is handled by the press so that the author who may not know how to do this doesn't have to worry about it. There's someone who is managing the process for them. So that's kind of how we see it, and I think there is some confusion in the industry about hybrid author and hybrid publisher, and then a small publisher that is acting like a traditional publisher. But the distinctions are really how they are setting up their financial program, like whether the author is not paying. I think with a small publisher acting like a traditional publisher, they are not charging their authors. They are paying for the cost of producing those books. And a hybrid publisher, as I said, is letting the author pay for those costs, and then obviously the indie author is paying all of the costs. So those are the three parties that we're dealing with, and those are the differences. But ultimately, they're all getting what they want, which is their book on bookstore shelves.
Okay. Do you have other programs that you're looking at adding in over a period of time?
Insofar as, other than
your overall
operation. Marketing. Our overall operation is, I think we want to keep it simple, right? What authors want from us, what these publishers want from us is they want their books on bookstore shelves. That is what we are dedicated to delivering, in addition to, I would say, supporting the mission, which is making sure that independent booksellers continue to thrive in the Amazon environment, right? We want them to be compensated financially for giving those self-published books a shot, and we do that by making sure that they receive a guaranteed quarterly stipend. We also reward booksellers for referring authors to us. And when an author is referred to us, each and every single time, we donate a portion of the submission fee to BINC, which is an organization that is helping those booksellers who may be struggling with some challenge. So I think what we are trying to do, very simply, is give people what they want, getting those books on shelves. But what we're doing on a larger scale is making sure that those booksellers and those indie authors are getting what they want, right? They're getting the support they need to produce a very good book and to see it finally reach readers' hands.
And that's really the critical aspect, is not only making sure it gets into readers' hands, but that we have readers that want books.
Yes.
Have you seen any future programs that will help develop that, or working with other companies or partnerships to help develop those?
Well, I think if this goes as planned, and it's already showing or proving to be going in that direction, Dark Frog is intentioned to be synonymous with the best in self-publishing. And over time, that is what we believe people will come to see us as they continue to see those branded shelf spaces in stores, as authors continue to come to us and get the direction that they need to get those books ready the way they should be. I think that's really the mission here. We want us all to win. We want us all to continue to move forward and bring good content to the readers, right? We can't forget about them. So I don't know if you're asking. I will tell you this in regards to programs. We have, since the inception, met all of the requests that we have gotten from booksellers and from authors. We have been willing and very quickly have shifted to meet their needs when they have come up to us, and they have really clarified them. And I'll give you an example. A bookseller is more likely to say no to an author who walks into their store, not because they don't want to give that author a chance, but because traditionally booksellers are not meant to deal with authors directly. They order through wholesalers like Ingram or Baker and Taylor, right? They are managing a business, and they are being put in a very awkward position. They don't want to be the people to say to an author, your book is just not good enough. No, they don't want to be put in that position, and yet that is the position that many of them are in. So our solution for them is, don't be in that position. Send those authors to us. We will give them direction they need, and if that book is really great, we'll get it into your store, and you will be able to help that author get the readership that they want, and your local community will also be served with the quality that they are accustomed to receiving from you. So that's just one example of how we're trying to meet the needs of the people that we're serving.
We only have a couple minutes left, and I really want to make sure that people understand the program. So we're going to back it up just a little bit and remind people that this is for indie authors, whether you are currently creating a book or already published. And there are certain fees involved that can range depending on the quality or depending on what services there are. Plus, you do have additional services. But the overall goal here, and I want you to reiterate this for everybody, is to make sure that the quality of the book is superior and that it meets your guidelines to be placed as an approved Dark Frog book. Is that correct?
That is correct. However, our standards, just so that you're clear, are based on what the industry standards are for bookstore distribution. It's not like a Dark Frog standard. We're not trying to create some sort of a hierarchy here. We just know when a book is ready for distribution.
And that's where you hire the outside staff that are involved in the publishing world who specialize in their given field to be able to review and say yes or no, or here's what needs to be corrected, correct?
That is correct. And the result of that is that self-published literature is being elevated across the board, right? Because as you know, the digital space is endless, and it can be cluttered with bad books for eternity. No one will find them. No one will buy them. But the books that are self-published that are really great, we want those books to get the distribution and placement that they deserve.
Great. Well, I thank you very much for your time, and I just want to remind the listeners that they can learn more about Dark Frog Books at darkfrogbooks.com. It has all the information they need from submitting self-published book, publishing your manuscript, and also viewing some of the books that have already been approved and are currently out in some 20-plus stores in their display. We thank you again, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.